Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're restarting. Don't ask. I just don't ask. Anyways, Monday, September 28th, 2020. I did want to point out that the moon is getting close to a full moon. I didn't do, oh my god. I forgot to do the evening whispers on my phone. So I did miss something anyways. Doctor from Select Town arresting for experimenting with child cloning. Well, representatives pushed the ministry for more accessible sedative. Military personnel stationed along the East Coast to prevent immigrants fleeing in from the Atlantic. Are you sure that would be okay? Yes. I mean, it would be really hard to pull off, but it's something that'll make the story different. Different isn't always good. It's a neat concept, but you need to handle it carefully and gracefully. I know. Okay, before I do anything, hey gal. The Anxious Boy and His Love Stories on Public Transport by Freya Fatima. The day was hot and sunny and humid, just like most days in Jakarta. I feel like it's Jakarta. I feel like I've heard that. I was standing inside a crowded bus, neither well-functioning air conditioning nor proper ventilation, trying to keep myself productive in an uncomfortable environment by reading my recently bought copy of Haruki's The Elephant Vanishes, while listening to a random playlist on my old iPod. Despite the hellish condition, you could say I was luckier than most, because I was standing near the rear door of the bus, leaning my back on the side of the seat, safe enough to not fall out of the bus, breezy enough to breathe freely. As mentioned, I was on a public bus in Jakarta, so naturally, I needed to be wary with my surroundings, mostly keeping my belongings secure from pickpockets and other human pests. I glanced around the bus several times, in between pages, and that was when I saw her. It's hard to describe her. She has no specific characteristic to differentiate her from the other woman. She was like the perfect example of the girl. Yeah, she has no. Okay. She was like the perfect example of the girl you walk past unseeing on the sidewalk every day. A girl you might glance at for a second, then a few steps later, it'd be hard to even remember her hair color. Never mind what her eyes, her nose, her mouth looked like. She's standing near the front door of the bus, not leaning on anything or anyone, not touching the bacteria-infested hand grip on the ceiling or the bus. Although, to be fair, it might have been hard for her to reach that grip. Anyway, still, she stood there, with the perfect balance of a tree, rooted in earthy soil. Healthy soil. She stood as if somebody had silently put the Venus de Milo on the bus, and she somehow fit perfectly without anyone noticing it happening. She was wearing a pair of headphones, wired, just like the headphones were supposed to be, and a slight smile on her face. Sometimes she closed her eyes for a few moments, enjoying the music only she could hear. Her eyes rarely stayed in one place. They kept wandering around the bus, not too fast like someone's anxious, not too slow like someone looking at something specific. Maybe she's the one, I thought. This isn't the first time I thought like this has crossed my mind. As a hopeless romantic, seeing any woman who piques my interest will immediately trigger a story in my imagination. A story of how I'll approach them, get to know them, with the proviso? I'm gonna go with proviso. That they're just as I imagine them to be. Start dating, get married, have kids, grow old in our home, and so on and so on. Random cuties, that's what I call them. Unicorns among horses. The term doesn't apply to any cute girls I see, of course. It has to be someone special. At least someone I imagine to be special. The thing is, automatically imagining those stories, whenever I happen across a random cutie, isn't healthy. It puts a toll on my mind, and of course my heart. Creates a lot of unhealthy expectations before any opportunity. Alright. This is true. I believe this is called... Is it idolizing? Idealizing? It is not a good thing to do with relationships if you expect someone to be so much, and then after like the puppy love phase runs out, and you realize they're not. It could be very unhealthy. Both for you, but also for whoever you're putting that pressure on. Oh shit. She looked at me. We made eye contact for a brief flash of seconds. I immediately returned to my book. Did she notice me staring at her? Did she see what I was thinking? My mind won't stop spinning, or thinking, while my pulse beats double time in my ears. I continue staring at my book, with what just happened. I obviously can't read it properly. My eyes were looking at the words, but nothing was being processed other than the thoughts of her. I glanced back at her, and she was staring at me. Eye contact more than once. It has to mean something. Should I approach her and introduce myself? Yes, I should. But what if things go wrong? What's the worst that could happen if I introduce ourselves? What's the worst thing that could go... Oh, if we introduce... I thought this was our other friend. First, it's a crowded bus, and moving from the rear door to the front will definitely annoy some people. Second, what if we approach her? She becomes annoyed and... Oh, come on, you're overthinking as usual. Nothing bad will happen even if she does get annoyed. Don't dismiss me, nothing bad will happen. Well, she might scream and say I'm a pervert, and then the whole bus will beat me to death. Oh, and the worst option, what if we introduce ourselves and then it turns out she's not like we imagined her to be? All the time and energy will be wasted, exchanged for years of agony. Oh, for everything will be fine. Don't worry so much. No matter what happens, second, we still will have to try something first. No, that's too much of a risk. The debate is still raging inside my head, and that's when it happens. We make eye contact again, but this time it lasts longer than a few seconds, and then she smiled at me. Just a small curve on this perfectly average, beautiful lip. I quickly returned to my book. See, you have to do something. But remember the girl with the violin we saw on the train to Yogyakarta a few years ago? Of course I remember. Exactly. She was just a random person that sat across from you on the train. We don't even remember what month it was. And yet, we still remember the maroon coat she was wearing. The violin case she put in the overhead compartment. Her reddish hair and that pixie cut her. Stop it. That was different. And we might have saved ourselves a lot of embarrassment by not talking to her. The thoughts, the noise, the internal dialogue, it won't stop. I was sweating, but not because of the heat. A cold sweat. This had to stop. Stop! I screamed internally. Everything stopped. And just in time, my old iPod randomly shuffled to explosions in the spaces. Explosions in the spaces. Wait. Do we have that? Is that a song? I think it is. It doesn't look like it. Am I sure it's not a song? I feel like that's a song. Shuffle to explosions in the space. Huh. The only moment we were alone. Maybe that was the band name. Oh, wrong thing. I can't go on until I get this. I swear you can... No. Weird. Okay, well. Okay, I'm still recording, right? Okay, we're so good. Where were we? The, shuffled to explosions in space. The only moment we were alone. I cranked up the volume and put my book in my bag and just breathed. Yeah, I may lose the chance to meet the one by doing this, but at least as long as I don't know her, she's perfect. As far as I know, she might be listening to explosions in space. As far as I know, she might be a big fan of Harakumi and Final Dreams not. As far as I know, she might be single. As far as I know, she might be a 100% perfect match for me that I believe can exist if my knowledge of her goes any farther than what I know right now. Besides, as the old saying goes, it's not meant to be, it will be. If it's meant to be, it will be. Not if it's not meant to be, it will be. The bus stopped in front of Plaza's Senayan? Tinayan? I feel like I'm really butchering these terms, and I do apologize. I'm trying. I am putting forth an effort. My destination. It was time for me to go. I decided not to look in her direction as I left, knowing that if I looked at her, it'd be the last time I ever saw her. That's too hard for a hopeless romantic like me. I left the bus and enjoyed the warm sun and the breeze of fresh air. Finally, out of that metal Schrodinger's box. That's when it happened. I turned my head to the right. There she was. standing alone, enjoying the breeze, and now she was free of the roasting metal box we humans named Bust. She turned her head to the left, showing a glimmer of surprise at seeing me standing there. After that, she smiled. So, if it's meant to be, it will be. Okay. Sorry, that was a lot. Am I gonna sneeze? No, I'm good, I'm good. Hey, Gala. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Gala. Am I interrupting? It looked like you were having a tense discussion. It's nothing. And I was just giving me feedback. It's for the book I'm writing. Sounds like a heavy discussion. Ooh, what are you up to tonight? I'm just planning to sit and relax. Please, don't make my presence interrupt you. Oh, don't worry about it. Although I need to interrupt Night for a moment. Sure, how can I help you? You can have a cup of... Do you remember my remedy? Of course. Do you want to give it a try again? My last order might have been the right drink. But let's give it a try again. Just to be sure. Okay. Remember, it has tea and ginger. Okay. I read this, so I tried this, and I gave him something that has tea and ginger in it, and he was upset. He's saying, let's give it a try again, not of experimenting again, but let's give it a try again of let's get the drink again. Okay. I believe it's what? Tea, ginger, and honey? Milk. Tea, milk. No. Tea, milk, and ginger. He just wants to make sure it tries again. Or to try it again. Serve it. Judging from the smell, this looks like it. Indeed. I have the same feeling. I made a note of that, make sure. Perfect. Anyway, please don't mind me. Continue with your discussion. Don't worry, Mr. Gow. We're done for the night. You're done? I have a lot of new homework thanks to you. You're welcome. Is Hyde coming? No, I'm by myself tonight. It's gonna be a peaceful night then. That's mean, Freya. Oh, come on. I was just joking. He needs to learn how to communicate his thoughts nicely, though. Oh, I just had a discussion earlier this morning on that. I don't think it's because he means to be mean. I think it's just because he doesn't care enough to realize that, or to. It's hard to explain, but it's like, it's the act of not caring as much about things and also not understanding how other people might feel, and instead imagining how you would feel, but how you feel is not how they feel. So what you expect wouldn't hurt still hurts them because they feel differently than how you feel. It's a weird whole thing, but in short, I don't think he was trying to be mean. I do think he probably could have worded it nicer after reading the emotions of said other party, but I think he didn't mean to be mean, as rude as it sounded. He might not look... He might not look like it. But he's a very kind person, you know. He doesn't show it, that's for sure. That applies to you as well. Oh, come on. It'd be funny if Hyde showed up. Ooh, Baileys, haven't seen you in a while. I'm missing a couple of your, I got your drink wrong. I need Georgie. I need a third one for Georgie. Gala! Favorite things, food, anything warm and made with ginger. Music, Metal Maiden. I'm pretty sure it's an actual band, and I listened to one of their songs. Books, Full Metal Jarhead. What I'm doing with my life? Trying to heal myself by helping others heal. That's so sweet. So we need Georgie, Baileys, Hyde, Myrtle, Rachel, and Hendrik. Then we can be up at max with people. And the other guy, we didn't get his name. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Baileys. Heya. How are you doing, Freya? Not good. What's going on? Knight was just criticizing my story. It's called feedback. It's cruel. It's necessary. Sounds interesting. What's the problem with the story? The story is non-linear and quite complicated. Imagine a choose-your-own-adventure storybook, but for adult. Sounds pretty common so far. But instead of telling you which page to turn to, each decision you make will give you a score. What? That score will determine which page you should go to. That sounds more like a video game than a book. I know, it's not that original. But my target here is the mainstream audience. Huh? With the help of my publisher, this kind of book may go mainstream. Just like that Choose Your Own Adventure show on NetStream. It was something new, but because of the marketing and the names involved, it reached the mainstream market. That sounds interesting. And highly ambitious for you. At least it's simpler than my other idea, which is making the novel not in the form of a book, but in the form of story cards. I know, right? As if she has all the time in the world. And that's before even considering the sensitive issue of setting the story in a world where only humans exist. What did you say? No, there's a reason why it has to be that way. Just wait until I finished it, okay? Alright, alright. As I said though, it won't have the time. I won't have the time. Getting a normal pitch approved is already a steep climb. Let's not make that mountain even higher. Fair enough. What's the story about, by the way? You'll have to wait for it. Don't want to spoil the fun. If you say so. Anyway, I haven't ordered anything. What do you want to drink tonight? Ginger latte, if you know how to make it. I believe I do. If it's a latte, it involves milk. Milk, ginger. Ginger? Do I not know how to make a ginger latte? Is it milk, ginger, ginger? Ginger latte. Do I really not know how to make a ginger latte? I feel like I do. Ah, yeah, I do. Coffee. Coffee, ginger milk. I had one of the ingredients. Milk. That's what counts. Ginger latte. I really hope this is what you asked for. Yes, cool. Here you go. Thanks. Damn, this is good. With this kind of drink making skill, I wonder why your place isn't any bigger. What we have here now is more than enough for me. I like the way you think. That's how I feel about YouTube. It's like, I have a couple people watch, that's more than enough for me. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. Did we not? Ah, yes. Perfect. Bailey's. Freelance designer, museum and art gallery frequenter, art school graduate, will draw and design for food and shelter. That's funny. By the way, how are you doing, Bailey's? Still busy with your last client? Oh, I'm done with her. Done? As if you're dropping the project? Hey, I'm not crazy. I still need the money. Done as in I finished the job. I spent the last few days making sure. It's even done before the deadline. Did she like it? Oh, she loved it. She had some complaints, of course, but I convinced her. By using some design terms she doesn't understand. So you finish your job by bullshitting her. The finest bullshit, my lady. That's one survival skill every freelancer must have. Are you working on anything right now? No. I'm taking a break from work. I need to work on a few personal matters. Oh. Like, you and Lua? Something like that. By the way, I'm curious. How did you guys meet? If you don't mind me asking. I don't mind. It's just that I was young and stupid, you know? Oh, come on. Who hasn't been there? You're right. So, I was a bit of a player back in college. Ooh, spicy. And I was going after my then best friend's girlfriend's friend. Wait, what? Okay, I'll say it slowly. I used to have a best friend. He was an incubus. Okay. Let's call him Cognac. Cognac has a girlfriend. Still following? And that girl has a friend. The friend is the one I'm after. Ooh, okay. Got it. She was one of the hottest girls there, but everyone knew she wasn't the type of girl you'd want to date. Why? I don't want to get into the details, but this succubus was super hot, and all the guys wanted to sleep with her. But she was a player too. Huh? That doesn't sound like Lua at all. Because it wasn't Lua, genius. Huh? Lua was my friend's girl. Holy moly. This is getting spicier. The other girl's name was... let's just call her Red. Continue. I knew Lua thanks to her relationship with Cognac. That's a fake name you made up, right? Yes. Now, will you let me continue without interruptions? Okay. So I asked Lua a lot of things about Rose. She knew what I was after. It annoyed her so much. But I kept on bothering her. I mean, I was pretty active guy back then. So Lua came over to visit us at one point. I lived with Cognac back at college. I had been out and I got back just as Lua arrived. A total coincidence. We went to our place together and witnessed something surprising. What? Cognac was sleeping with Rose. Holy mother of moly. I saw the look on Lua's face. Disbelief, anger, sadness. And without even thinking about it, I punched Cognac in the face. You what? I got into a fight with him. No, I haven't told you. Cognac was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tutor for kids. He's pretty good. Oh my. Yeah, I landed that one punch, and he beat me to a pulp. Easily. Lua begged me to stop fighting on her behalf. More like she begged Cognac. Hey, I wasn't kidding. I lost, but I don't give up so easily. I was being pretty bad, so I took care of my injuries. We grew closer after that. And I don't even remember the exact date, but suddenly that friendship turned into a relationship. That was one hell of a story. I know. Have you seen her by any chance? Yeah. We came by a few days ago. How was she doing? She hasn't returned any of my calls or texts. Well, she's healthy, that's for sure. Got into an argument, though. With whom? There was this male model. A model? I didn't think she was that type of girl. To go out with a model. Oh, they weren't together. What were they arguing about? Well, we were talking about your relationship. Dude told us about the reason behind the fight. About your family stuff. And this guy, Hyde, joined the discussion. What did he say? He didn't understand why Lua would insist on getting family approval. Considering, you know, what? You're willing to leave your own family. You would do that for her. Yes, I would. I'm sick and tired of my family. Why would you say that? Because sometimes families just aren't great. Let it be known. It does happen. Being related by blood doesn't always mean that they're great. Don't get me wrong though, there are a lot that are great, and I think some people don't realize that. I just wish all could be that way. Let me tell you about my family. Or I should say, most elven family. They all think they're so high and mighty. If you're born an elf, there are certain unwritten rules you must follow. Reputation, appearance, or everything. We must never, ever make our family look bad. You can only befriend certain people. You must dress a certain way. You can only have certain jobs. Jobs that are deemed worthy and successful. Like being a doctor, a lawyer, a CEO, you know. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be an artist. I love drawing and creating art. However, becoming an artist is not something else would deem suitable. Unless you become the next Da Vinci. So, when I switched from a business major to an art major, my parents went crazy. Screamed like they were on fire. They told me that I'd never be rich or successful. All that because you chose an art degree? You want to know the worst part? They blamed Lua. What do you mean? They blamed her for my decision to pursue my passion for art. Yelled about how her kind is ruining the country. accusing their religion of worshipping the Dark Lord, accusing her of putting a spell on me and cursing the family. Whoa. I mean, come on, this is the 21st century. That's not so cool. That's so not cool. Sorry. I don't want to sound judgmental, but family's racist. Tell me about it. Who's the only person that can make me feel alive? You showed me how free I could be and pursue my dream. I don't understand why Lou's so obsessed. The idea of reconciliation with my family. I just don't get it. I have no problem leaving my family, you know? I'd happily leave them for the both of us. What about her? What about her and her family? You may be happy to leave your family. However, it may not be the same for her. Gala, do you have something to say? Perhaps you could give us a different perspective. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I couldn't help overhearing your story. I assume that the person you're talking about is not an elf, correct? Yes, she's a succubus. I see. I'm a werewolf. For werewolves, the wolf pack is the most important thing. We'll put family before any other. We often have our own problems within the pack, but we won't abandon our family for anything. Perhaps that's also true for her and her family. Besides, if you leave your family for her, wouldn't that make your parents believe that all those bad stereotypes about succubi are true? I never thought about it that way. Whether you like it or not, your actions will have an impact on her as well. And if you leave your family for her, that will put her in a difficult spot. She might feel responsible for your action. There's nothing to feel bad about. I'm leaving my messy family to create a better one with her. Easy for you to say that now. But you don't know what the future holds. One day, circumstances might change. One day, one of you might regret your decision. One day, you might use the I left my family for you card. We love each other. I'll be with her whatever the circumstances may be. You know, love is like a flame. It might burn fiercely at first, but over time it'll die down. And if you don't maintain it, maintaining it won't be easy. It'll be hard work. Because life is full of storms. Marriage will not survive on love alone. Whoa, that's deep. I just want to point out this whole conversation. One, I love this because instead of Hyde and Lua, it's now Bailey's and Gala. But this is true. And this is one thing that's good to keep in mind whenever you do go into relationships, even if you're sure you love them to death and beyond. So what Gala said, it's easy for you to say that now, but you don't know what the future holds. One day circumstances might change. I'm not saying that you should have a lingering doubt in your head that they might not be the one, that you might not love them forever. But you have to realize that times do change, and in the future, you might end up ending it. Don't have it as a doubt, though. Have it as... what's the word I'm looking for? Be realistic with it. Understand that there is a chance it could not work out. But go into it full-heartedly loving that person. The other thing I would also recommend is leaving your family for her. I wouldn't say that. Leave your family if you don't want to be a part of them. For you, focus on you, and then go forward with life. Love yourself and do things for yourself before you go trying to do things for others. If you constantly do things for others, you will then... a lot of times you might accidentally pull this card, I did this for you, and it sucks. To pull that card, sometimes we don't mean to, but we still do it anyways. You say it at the wrong time, and that ends in a terrible, terrible time. So it's best not even to let those times happen. Do things for you, and stand by them for you before trying to do stuff for someone else. I think that last part might be a little poorly worded, but do put yourself with how much you love someone else, because you are also an important being. And one of my old coaches told me that he always puts himself in a relationship. He puts himself in the relationship first before the other, and thinks every relationship should be that way, because you gotta know how to love yourself first before you can love someone else. Anyways, we'll have each other, and that's enough for us. Tell me, do you have health insurance? What? I'm an elf. Why would I need health insurance? You'll need some. What for? Mortality is an elven privilege, but you'll lose it if your family disowns you. I've seen people go bankrupt because they fell ill or got seriously injured. Emptied their entire life savings for an $8 pill because in this country they charge $20,000 for it. This sad face. And if you decide to have children, they won't have the same privileges you do. There's a high probability that they'll get bullied for being a half-breed. There are consequences. It shouldn't be taken lightly. I hate that this is a thing. He's true, but I hate this. This should be bullying. God. Anyways, shouldn't be taken lightly. Think about it. Anyway, I've got to go. I apologize for my intrusion. No, thank you for your insight. Gala is such a great guy. I've got to go too. Want to head out together? Sure. Oh my god, I love this game for just this like casual interaction, strangers talking. Thanks for the drink night. And Fred. Bye. Like, they're like, oh yeah, you want to head out together? You want to talk about this more? Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I love seeing this and hearing about stuff like this. Like, if a random stranger just decides to, talk to you while you're waiting for your food at some place, maybe indulge him a little. Indulge, that's the word I'm looking for. Maybe indulge him a little, or her a little. Listen to them, talk to them for a little bit. I know this world can be scary at times, but I think we need more of that to show that not everyone's a bad person. What? You made me lose 2 customers in a minute. Hey, that wasn't on me. You were leaving anyway. You're gonna write that in your book? It's a secret. If your book is based on the coffee shop, how can you present a story like theirs in a world with only humans around? I'm not sure. Perhaps a hot drink will give you some inspiration. Sounds like a great idea. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I love these episodes. They make you think. They really make you think about the world. And I think I mentioned in a different episode, but like, for instance, this, looking through someone else's eyes in an argument. It's tough. It really is, but it will help you out if you learn to do that. Try to just understand someone else's point of view. Anyways, I'm not going to leave it on that note. I'm loving this. I believe this will be posted after New Year's. I think my timing's right. So, look forward to that. They might actually be posted on New Year's. I don't know. You'll see it in the future. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to the rest of this. And there was another game, it's not necessarily a visual novel, but another game that I think people might enjoy that I've been looking forward to playing for a while. On top of this, and Coffee Talks Episode 2, and another visual novel. And actually, I have 2 other visual novels that I'm looking forward to playing as well. So I have a bunch of stuff that I plan on playing, and I think they might help make, maybe not a daily dose, but maybe every other day? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I like posting this in relative... What's the word I'm looking for? Relatively recent to when I recorded it. Keeping the episodes close to... As close to when you're going to see it as possible. Aside from, the day of. That way I have a little bit of space in case I forget to make an episode. because I don't know, I just enjoy it. I think it's fun. I think it's a nice. You could sit down and have a nice little dose of coffee talks for 20, 30 minutes. That's just me though. I don't worry about me. That's just my opinion. Anyways, I do hope you've enjoyed. Hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, year, month, second, hour, minute, millennium, generation, decade, century, era, whatever it may be. I think I didn't repeat any of those. And until next time, you take